Hello. For more than 20 years now, the world has been agitating for cashless society. Now, how much today has the world been able to achieve this, and which countries of the world are actually taking the leading role in this aspect of the economy, or should I say technology? Yes, on this platform we talk about money and technology, and there's no how we talk about technology that money is not going to surface. Or if you talk about money, there's no how you won't talk about technology. Our today's topic centers around money. And what aspect of money? Of course, we will be looking at what has actually taken the advantage of this cashless policy that the world is actually, agitating for. You call it mobile money. Some people call it mobile banking. Whatever it is, the purpose is for us to achieve cashless environment or cashless society, where everything we do will be without cash. I mean, for quite some times now, I've never touched money. But which part of the world am I? Well, we get to know on the program. This is Money and Technology, reaching you from our studio here in Hargeisa, the capital of Somaliland. My name is Ajara Ahmed Tijani. Together with my co-presenter, Prince Hamza Mohammed, we'll be rocking the program together. Stay with us, we'll go for a break now. You're welcome back. In case you're just joining, this is Mobile Money and it is reaching you from CBA TV. Like I told you, I have my co-presenter here, whom we've been doing it all along. Prince Hamza Mohammed, how are you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
Now, what's your understanding of mobile money and mobile banking? It's kind of confusing. I mean, in the name of cashless policy or achieving cashless societies and all those stuff, we get to hear mobile banking and mobile money. What is mobile money? What is mobile banking? What's the difference?
So mobile money is an electronic wallet or an electronic account, which is usually linked with a phone number or a SIM carrier. So it's not really tied to any bank accounts or any credit cards. Okay. And mobile banking or mobile money transfer is usually done with a bank. So if you've got a bank account, if you've got a credit card that's still active, then all you need to do is download that app and you can transfer your money from the bank. So it's a funny story. When I came here for the first time to this country and they introduced a type of mobile money, Zad.
Okay.
I was very shocked because I was seeing all these people pulling out their phones and sending money, and I was like, okay, they're probably taking this from their accounts or bank accounts. But then somebody told me, oh, it's not, it's just on your phone. So that is actually revolutionary, so you don't need to have a bank account.
Yes, I will borrow that word from you. It's actually a financial revolution, because it's been like, let's say 6 months I've been around. I've seen money actually, but I've never touched money. And I tell you, I've transacted way more than, let's say, $3,000. I mean, and I've never touched money. You can imagine that. So we will give it to technology this time around, even though we're talking about money. Now, you said something about financial revolution. I'm just kind of wondering, you understand, when we talk about, still on cashless policy, when we talk about mobile money transfer or mobile banking, you understand, it's kind of understandable. I have an account somewhere and a domiciliary account and I store money or I keep money there. It's my money, and I know it's in a financial institution that has the know-how, to keep the money. So if there is a link, maybe a platform or what do we call it now, an app, that enables me to reach my account without having to go and queue, without having to go to any bank, just to reduce all the hassles and the stress. That's still understandable. But I'm just looking at the techniques. I mean, what are the magic behind mobile money?
Okay, so mobile money was actually developed for people who don't have these accounts, or to make it more convenient for them. Let's say, for example, somebody who lives in the outskirts of Somaliland or the outskirts of a city. It'll be more convenient for them to have something on their phone which does not require any bank or anything, so they don't have to travel to the bank if they have any problem with it. So I'm sure that mobile money, most of them, are developed using Python, a programming language that I've studied in university.
Python is a type of snake. That's what I know. I'm not a science student, so I know Python.
So there's many types of programming languages, and I think they do it with Python to make these sort of apps. So it was actually developed to make things more easier and stuff. So you have people who are poor or don't actually can afford these accounts. So all they need to do is pay for this little SIM card or this phone carrier and have any type of phone. You don't need to have an app. And you can send money to different people across the world. You can send people money to vendors and stuff to get what you need. So it's very convenient nowadays.
Well, I mean, that's one of the techniques. I mean, Python is something probably I'm hearing for the first time. I don't know. There's an app, software, that has that. I've only heard of Cisco and the rest of them. I don't know about Python. Okay, now let's go down, memory lane, the history, the evolution of this thing. When was it introduced to the world? I mean, there was an agitation that we should have something like that. Which country introduced it and how did it evolve?
Kenya is the leading of
wait a minute.
Kenya
in
Africa,
in Europe, or
in Africa.
You mean Africa is actually taking lead? Mm-hmm. Are you kidding?
Yeah. So they started developing this thing early 2000s, I'd say 2000s it was, and they started to pave the way of we can send money via phone. You don't need a credit card, you don't need all this hassle, So they developed this, and later it started to grow into this multi-billion-dollar thing in Africa, which is making the economy booming. So once these outside and these foreigners, started hearing about this thing, they started to jump onto the train. So 4 years after, the owner of Alibaba, Jack Ma, introduced Alipay.
That funny guy.
Yeah, so Alipay now is one of the leading mobile money, policies in China, that and WeChat. So I think without Africa and without M-Pesa, without Kenya not developing any mobile money, then I don't think Jack Ma would be introduced to this mobile money thing, which is a big thing in China now, which is generating all this money from China. So without Africa, then there's no technology.
Let's give it to Africa. Specifically, let's give it to Kenya. Wow. Now I had one which was developed at a point in Uganda. Is it? I mean, what's the reality behind that?
Yeah. So in Uganda, they had statistics that said that only 11% of the population of Uganda did not have bank accounts. Wow. So to counter this trend, what they did was develop these mobile money for different parts of Africa. So Kenya is actually the leading one with M-Pesa, and you have different ones in different countries. Okay. So they're all doing the same thing. We have Zad here, we have EDAB here, we have
I've heard of Paga too. Yeah. Paga also is helping in the area of electronical transaction and some other stuff like that. There are different parts. I don't know. I've heard of Momo before. There's one communication, yeah, I don't know, line, or should I say network, like MTN. I think that one is owned by South Africa, you know. So there's one particular, I think that one really is not mobile money actually, but they call it Momo. So, but I know of Paga, you understand, until I get to know ZAD. Now, because this program is actually not sponsored by any of these, neither from M-Pesa, nor from ZAD that we're using here, or maybe Paga, but this is a program that looks critically at the advancement of technology around the world, and in the money or in the financial aspect of, you know, what we're doing in the world, you know, this is one very key area that technology is actually doing very well. Now, what about ZAD, you know, that we use here? Before we begin to look at the pros and the cons of this technology, because when technology comes, it comes with all the goodies and the freebies, and the cookies. But you know, when you look at it from another perspective, you're beginning to see, you know, the side effects or probably the disadvantage and the rest of them. Let's go for this break. All right, so welcome back. The program is Money and Technology. If you are just joining, I'll say you've missed a bit, but don't worry. The rest of the program is still there for you to learn one or two things. The program is Money and Technology. My name is Ajara Ahmed Tijani, and I'm here with
Prince Hamza Ahmed.
Okay, Prince, you were saying something about the workability of this mobile money and the names that we could harness here. I would say, how has this, you know, technology, you know, affected the humanity? What has it brought to us?
So this has brought a lot to the people. So mobile money, I'd say, is very user-friendly, and it's making the economy grow, because imagine all these unfortunate people who cannot afford these bank accounts, and all they want to do is send money to their relatives. They want to buy something in the market, and they don't want cash to carry, because you know, cash brings a lot of hassle. You can lose it. It's physical, you know.
Yes,
there's no security to it. So they try to combat this and say, why don't we give this to people who really need it? People who want convenience, people who don't have, you know, a local bank in the area. So they developed this, and it's doing very, very well. Many countries are hopping on. Maybe the US might do it because they're trying to perfect it in a way that they're doing research onto it and trying to find, you know, good ways for it. But, you know, there's a lot of things that go into it. So
there's a huge or big topic in the finance world. We call it financial inclusion. With your explanation, we could see that the introduction of this system of finance is actually giving people, a lot of people, especially the less privileged people, you know, people in the rural areas, the nomadics and the rest of them, that opportunity to be included in the finance, you know, ecosystem. We give it to that. Okay, what other things do you think this is actually bringing to humanity? What are the more, you know, advantages of this?
So there are many other advantages. It actually brings countries and families and people closer together. So you've got underprivileged people, and you've got, let's say, somebody in your family has traveled abroad, is working a very good job, it pays well, and you've got your family that's down there who, you know, has nothing, you know. So you would like to send money to them, but without this mobile money transfer, mobile banking, you have no option, you have no way. Yeah. There's no communication between you two. There's a gap. There's a financial gap. So now with mobile money, all they need is their mobile, and that's it. The person abroad will have their own bank account, will just send it to their mobile straight, and within a few minutes, and they've got what they need.
Let's look. I just want you to speak briefly on the literacy aspect of it. You know, if you are using, let's say, mobile banking application and stuff, it takes a lot from you. If you are not educated, let's use that word, you might not be able to know how to use all this. The mobile money system, do you think it requires, you having to be a graduate before you could use it?
No, not at all. There are a lot of companies, a lot of these people who are developing this are trying to make this more easier. Like ZAD, for example, all you have to do is just put a code like 223, star 223, and that is for a merchant, or star 220 to send a specific person, followed by your PIN, that's it. And the amount that you're going to put in, that's all you need. So they're making it much more easier. But I'd say people with mobile banking, I think because they have bank accounts, they are actually educated people. So it does require a bit of knowledge, because there are transversion fees, there are these little hidden fees that you should understand before using mobile banking. But mobile money, it was actually targeted towards people who don't have bank accounts, people who are underprivileged, or people who just want fast and convenient stuff without all the hassle.
Yeah.
So that's how it was developed.
Now, there's an advancement to that. I read something online. I watched a video, I think on YouTube, about the advancement of this aspect of finance, or let's say aspect of mobile money. You spoke about using codes. In some areas, like if you want to use, let's say you are a traveler, I might not get the service of M-Pesa here, or probably the Momo, like I talked, and then the Paga and the rest of them, and I'm used to ZAD here. I moved to other country where M-Pesa is there. I moved to probably West Africa, where I can use Momo or Paga and anyone that is available there. It's a lot of code, and at the end of the day, it might be confusing. But there's something I get to hear about using, is it barcode or QR code or something? I mean, what's your view of this? And which country or which application is more into this?
So currently in Africa, there isn't a lot of QR code scanning and this thing. So I don't think they've linked it to mobile money.
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure that they are connected to mobile banking. So if you have an online account with a credit card, many countries are doing this right now. You'll just go to the vendor, grab what you need, and there's a QR code. You just place your phone on there for either infrared scan or QR code. So it will just deduct the money from your account. So the leading country right now who's actually using this is China.
Okay.
So China has Alipay and WeChat Pay. Okay. Are the two leading ones. So I'd say WeChat Pay is number one right now, because it
Wait a minute. You said WeChat? WeChat, to me, is pretty much like WhatsApp. All this communication, app that you can use for sending messages, video chat, and the rest. Even from the name, WeChat. So, what's the correlation?
So basically, I think it was like a marketing move. So WeChat actually started to be a messaging, app and stuff. But they said, what can we do more? So I think they looked around and said, what do we need? There is Alipay, who's one of the leading ones. Why don't we make a paying service? Because a lot of people had WeChat at the time in China. So if a company that is well known with millions and millions of people using their app just develops WeChat Pay, of course they're going to move on to that. So now WeChat Pay is competing with Alipay. So like you go to one store, it's either Alipay or WeChat Pay. So they have many other things. They're also using it in the US, where you would have a code. You just scan your phone instead of you using your card as the reader. So many other countries are doing it, but Africa is using the old-fashioned way. But they are going to get to it soon. It's a gradual steps.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, even here, there's something I read about. I don't know whether it is Kafi or it is Wafi. I think it's part of the a package from the ZAD end. So maybe we'll get to know more about that. Now, let's look at the percentage of the people who are captured in this, mobile money system that we're talking about from across the world. Let's just pick them randomly and see how far this technology is really doing.
So I think number one is Africa. Africa actually paved the way.
Okay.
For this whole technology thing, for this mobile money. I'd say they're the number one for it. And, many other people have been picking it up, So it's it's actually tied between Africa and China.
Okay.
So China, a lot more people are using it because, the population of China is a lot of people. So Africa actually paved the way. You've got other countries soon following. So it's like for something to become a cashless society or something like that, you need small steps into it. You can't just all rush into it because there are disadvantages, there are advantages of it. So there has to be this beginning and there has to be an end. So there has to be a beginning and this gradual path that other countries will soon follow. And before you know it, it'll be international. Everyone will be having their phones scanned. People will be sending money very quickly to each other. So in a way, it will be a cashless international society.
Oh, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. Now, you said something about 11%. I don't know, maybe is it in Kenya or Uganda?
So Uganda has 11% don't have bank accounts.
Okay.
And in Senegal, it's 8%.
Okay.
So in Senegal, population is like 17 million.
Okay.
So 8% of those people have bank accounts and the rest don't.
Okay.
So 92% don't have bank accounts, and that's because it's a country which is struggling like many other countries,
of course,
such as Somaliland, for example. I know a lot of people who don't have bank accounts, and I know some people who do.
And in the next 10 years, like 10 years to come now, they might not even have bank accounts.
So there are many banks throughout the world who are actually trying to think, maybe we just remove money and cash in general. Okay. Should we have digital currency like what we have now? So banks are actually thinking about it and developing this as we speak. So they're trying to move onto a society in the future where cash is not necessary.
Okay.
So I believe that is 100% possible, all thanks to Africa. That's
all thanks to Africa, and of course to technology. Now, speaking of Africa, the mentality is there. We're used to the system of, having to show off with cash. I just want to move around with let's say $10,000, and then, in some part of Africa here, when there's a ceremony or let's say there's an event, or maybe a musician is singing, you see people spraying, cash. Haven't you seen that before?
Yeah.
You've seen it before, where we'll be spraying dollars, or even in US, even around the world, there's some, occasions that you've got to, some people would have to maybe their girlfriend or something like that, you ask them to be doing something for them and then they spray them. All those memories would disappear. By the time this thing is fully come to pass, no cash again, you have any business with cash, you don't carry cash around, you don't have money in your pocket again. But because there's mobile money system around, it's a mobile wallet, you understand, nobody can determine how much you have now. From this, do you think the rest of humanity is not disadvantaged? What can you say are the side effects of this?
There are many side effects of this, and I'd say that many people are actually against not having a cashless society.
Okay.
So they actually need cash because it's been ever since a long time ago.
Permit me to say this. There's a friend of mine that says he feels hungry when he doesn't have any money in his pocket. You understand? But when he has money in his pocket, he might not even eat from money till evening. You understand? There are some people like that. Yeah. So go on.
So a lot of people love the way cash is, and they don't want to be forced or rushed into this cashless society. So imagine you having at least $50 and you thinking you're hungry and you really want to have this meal. So you going to this restaurant and you ask them, oh, I need this and this, here's the money. And they say, we don't take cash. How would you feel? So Now, a lot of people are arguing against this, and there's a lot of disadvantages. So, number one, I'd say, is that inconvenience. So, if you have cash, they don't take cash. And I'd say another one is security.
Okay.
So, imagine you having this mobile banking or mobile money. Your information is on somewhere.
Yeah.
Your information is on a server. Your information is somewhere with your name, your information, your details. All it takes is one hacker or somebody from that company to leak this information or do whatever they want for the information, and your life could actually be at risk. So there was a story in the US about a hacker who hacked a well-known bank called Capital One Bank in just 2 days, and he stole $106 million from...
Wait a minute, how did he do it? It came with a league of robbers with, sophisticated guns.
One man.
Just one man? With guns?
With a computer. So, one man with a computer stole $106 million.
You know the funniest thing? The idea of cashless society is to take away the risk of having to store money in your home, carrying money around, the security aspect of it, that could be an inferno. Maybe there's a fire outbreak somewhere and all the money kept in your house is burnt, you're devastated, you're depressed, or probably you're moving around with money, there's an information somewhere, and you are robbed. You understand? Probably in the process you lose your life, God forbid, bad thing. But here there's no gun. There's no orchestrated armed bandits anywhere, no fire, and here you got robbed. Tell me about it.
So he was on his computer, and in 2 days he stole $106 million. And the funny thing was, the bank didn't even realize. 3 months later, they found out that the money was gone.
Oh my God.
From people complaining. So in a way, security is a huge aspect. So if you move to something digital, there are a lot of smart people out there who know computers, who know how to hack and all this stuff. So there were times where you would carry cash in your pocket. So do you think a hacker can take your money if it's physical?
No.
But people can take your money if it's physical.
Yeah, sure.
So that actually goes in an advantage. So it reduces cash-related crimes. Okay. So if somebody comes to you and we're in a cashless society and says, "Give me your money," you don't have money. Okay. And even if he did take your details for your phone or your bank, all you've got to do is call your bank and say, "Shut down the accounts." You cannot move that money anywhere. So there is this, security, gap and stuff. And
now let's talk about this aspect of, unemployment, or people losing now let me give you this example. Now, you said about 8% or 11% of the population of some particular countries in Africa are having bank accounts. In Somaliland here, I think the statistics is giving us, if not close to 70, like 80% of people in Somaliland here don't really have, what do we call it now, bank accounts. What do you think is going to happen to bank in the future?
In the future, if they do develop something that is cashless, then they won't mean they don't need to print money anymore. They don't need banks anymore. Basically, I think banks will be virtual now. You would have, your bank is on your phone.
So you can imagine how many staffs are going to lose their, jobs in the process. So, because everything is not manual anymore. Back in the days, even till now, you've got to go to bank, you see someone on the desk, you give your money, there's a lot of transactions there, and you see a lot of, list of people on the desk that you want to actually meet one-on-one. In the next how many years now, what do you think is going to happen?
So I think for well-developed countries such as America and all this thing, I think it'd be like 10 to 20, maybe 30 years from now, maybe. I think, yeah.
That's serious.
So for something that is so traditional, like money and cash, being removed like that, it's going to be a long process, because you can't just put it out of the equation. Okay. And, there's many other disadvantages, like, let's say traders, people who are looking to trade and all this stuff, they get this money. They make money from putting trades on these currencies. You see how you change it on currencies, you know, and you know how the US dollar is the most strongest currency as we speak.
Yes.
If everybody moves to digital currency, this will lose all its power. US dollar will be worthless. So US dollar has been booming since 1920.
Okay.
It's been the leading currency. And if they introduce this, it's going to be at risk. All these currencies are going to be at risk. They'll mean nothing. All your money will be on your phone. So a lot of people will be losing money from this.
Okay.
So that's a big disadvantage.
Well, there's so much to talk about, you know, when we are, you know, treating this subject matter. But the truth of the matter is, it has come to us, and we've got to accept it like that. No two ways about it. Cashless policy is really helping, you know, the economy. It's really helping the humanity. It's helping a lot of things. You understand? It's taking away risk, stress, hassle, and so on. Anything you can ever imagine in the financial, you know, system. But hey, it has its own cons too. So, but without that, there's nothing, you know, to be afraid of. Take advantage of the mobile money, and then I tell you, you are in a big world of financial ecosystem that is moving fast, like, you know, like anything you can ever imagine. This is where we're pressing a pause on today's edition of Mobile Money from CBA, the voice of East Africa and beyond. My name remains Ajara Ahmed Tijani, and my co-presenter
Prince Hamza Mohammed.
Together we're saying, enjoy the world of technology. It's a bye.